they're saying there was a study or multiple experts got together and decided we don't like the word gluten intolerance. It's not specific enough. Ew. Today, we talk about We Back, episode something, and I'm all by myself. Again, it's been a little lonely for me, spiritually and physically, but a little bit of that is my own doing, but we're not here to talk about that nor this. We're here to talk a few different things. So for today's lineup, I figured, in a previous video, I had discussed in a Q&A purely about celiac disease, but it was kind of bare bones. It was just meh. I'd like to step it up a little bit, if you will, and do more of a gluten intolerance umbrella topic, because I feel like a lot of people hear the word gluten thrown around a lot, but not the word celiac disease, which is just a subset of this issue, apparently. So let's just dive deeper into gluten-ish, if you will. We'll follow that up with sneaker history on the Nike Kill Shot 2s, which I have here on the table for me. If you're on the table for me, yeah, not for me, for me, right? Does that matter? What am I talking about? I'm going loopy, bruh. That will be followed by a sneaker release video segment, and then we'll roll that into the Lakers again, followed by sports in general, and end it with a little bit of Koanahmai. All right, so let's get right into it. This is Medicine Made Easy with Dr. Azizi. Hey, we in here. Let's talk about gluten-related disorders is how they're phrasing it on Wikipedia. So I'm just going to kind of like sift through this, look for the pertinent-ish, and then we'll wrap it up because ain't
nobody got time for that.
Hey, word. Okay, let's go. Is the term, gluten-related disorders. So this will include celiac disease. This also includes non-celiac gluten sensitivity, aka NCGS, gluten ataxia, which I've never heard of, and then dermatitis herpetiformis, which I could have swore was just a skin manifestation related to celiac disease, but maybe it's just its own entity. I guess hopefully we'll find out more in this article. Wheat allergy apparently can also mimic. Not mimic, but it's under this umbrella of gluten-related disorders. So maybe just purely wheat is the issue in those folks. I don't know. Let's keep looking here. The umbrella category is referred to as gluten intolerance. So I think that's pretty dope to kind of bundle all these bundles of not so much joy together. Though a multidisciplinary physician-led study concluded that the use of this term should be avoided. Okay, yeah. So they're saying there was a study, or multiple experts got together and decided we don't like the word gluten intolerance. It's not specific enough. Ew. And I get that. There's some validity to that in the science world because everything got to be exact. But in the real world, people don't give a fuck. So it's better to keep things branded as simply as possible, even if it's not 100% accurate. I think that's fair. Let's keep it moving. So what is gluten? Gluten is a group of proteins such as prolamins and glutellins stored with starch in the endosperm of various cereal grains. Interesting. Okay, so it's stored with starch basically within grains. Okay, and it's a group of proteins. Makes sense. And let's see. So some of the thought process behind why so much gluten-related ish is becoming more prevalent in the world is apparently because the popularity of the Western diet is spreading. So we got to get on McDonald's ass, you know what I mean? They're fucking spreading like wildfire all over the world. They got freaking branches all over the place. And foreigners eat that shit up, man. They love themselves some American fast food. Let me tell you, I know firsthand. I see the ish. And I think part of it is just like it feels classé because it's American, you know what I mean? And to them, they're not in America. So to them, it's not like, you get what I'm saying? Like it's like, it's got a whole different taste, if you will. Metaphorically speaking. So there's basically, they're splitting this up into three types. Apparently a panel of experts in London published this thing in 2012 that said, hey, you get autoimmune disorders, non-autoimmune, non-allergic disorders, and then allergic, or then basically an allergy. So this would so autoimmune, basically your own immune system is attacking itself. It's too ramped up, as opposed to like something like HIV or AIDS, where you're immunodeficient. Your immune system isn't working as well as it should be. In autoimmune diseases, it's kind of the opposite. It's like you have too much immune system going down. It's an OD of immunity. And those categories for this gluten-ish include celiac disease, dermatitis herpetiformis, gluten ataxia. I really want to know more about this gluten ataxia. I've never heard of this ish. And this is why you'll try and learn something new every day, folks. That's how you stay alive. Okay, so the non-autoimmune, non-allergic types would be non-celiac gluten sensitivity. That makes sense. And then there's a true food allergy, which I guess is where the wheat falls into place. Yeah. So celiac disease is one of the most common chronic immune-mediated illnesses, and it's triggered by eating gluten. And basically, with gluten, so I mean, they're quoting environmental component versus a genetic component. Environmental component obviously being the actual gluten exposure, and then the genetic component is human leukocyte antigen type 2, HLA type 2, specifically DQ2 and DQ8. So these become a little bit more sciencey and nerdy for some folks, but to me it stands out because like I literally test for this sometimes for patients coming in with concern for celiac disease. DQ2 and DQ8, those are some buzzwords for you. Isn't always very relevant, but good to have in the back of your mind as a doctor. At least I wouldn't worry about it as a regular dude or dudette. I don't think it's very helpful for you to hold on to that bit of information. Honestly, why did I even say it? I don't know, but we're going to keep moving here. So let's see. So basically, to try and simplify the science, and you guys give me some feedback if this is too sciencey, if you want less of this, if you want more of this, we could explore this, but I mean, let's just dive in. Trey Songz Triggered into the process. So basically, you get these genes. They stimulate a T cell, one of your immune type cells, and basically the T cell sets up a immune response to tissue transglutaminase, aka TTG. And this is an enzyme outside of in the extracellular matrix. Why am I drawing a blank on where exactly this is in the cell structure? I am blanking right now. Holy shit, it's been a while since college, baby. Or the first 2 months of med school, I should say, as well. But anyway, leading to inflammation of the intestinal mucosa and eventually villus atrophy of the small intestine, which is a fancy way of saying there is this TTG enzyme. Basically, it's got to be in the small intestinal lining, I guess, where all the villi are, where all the sucky pads are, where you absorb all your nutrients in that first part of your small intestine. That duodenum, classic villi structure. You got this TTG hanging around, and then for whatever reason, wheat stimulates the cells to start churning out this immune response to TTG, and it kind of starts eating away at your intestines here. Let's see. Celiac disease is not only a GI disease because it may involve several organs. And actually, this reminds me, because I believe some people can go infertile if they have untreated celiac for too long, And I don't want to make this all about celiac disease, but let's just skip ahead here. I think one thing relevant to a lot of folks is the fact that for people that are hypochondriacs or people that are super sensitive about their health, you may have them just jump right to celiac disease. But let me tell you this, it affects approximately 1% to 2% of general population all over the world. So, 99 times out of 100, you ain't going to have celiac disease. And I'll be honest with you, I really haven't seen that many cases of celiac disease. And I'm a GI doctor. I see sick motherfuckers. And I don't ever see, or I shouldn't say never, I can probably count on one hand how many patients I have confirmed celiac disease that I know of in them. But anyway, so it can lead to iron deficiency. That can sometimes be a clue as to you having celiac disease, osteoporosis, increased risk of intestinal lymphoma. So you can get intestine cancer if you have this untreated celiac disease sometimes. And they tend to be associated with other autoimmune diseases. So just because your immune system is ramped up in one way doesn't mean it's going to be ramped up in another way to cause other things like type 1 diabetes, thyroiditis, psoriasis, vitiligo, autoimmune hepatitis, autoimmune, inflammation of the liver. What else? PSC, primary sclerosing cholangitis, and a bunch more. Just, these autoimmune diseases, unfortunately, tend to travel in bunches. A lot of times you'll see thyroid issues with these kinds of patients too. Classic symptoms. So again, this is usually what drives people to start discussing gluten in the first place. We're talking chronic diarrhea and bloating, malabsorption, loss of appetite, impaired growth, and even bone pain. Yeah, those are the classic symptoms. There are some non-classic symptoms as well, but why bother going into those? That's a little bit more specific. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm reading about dermatitis herpetiformis. And again, I thought this was simply a skin condition just associated with celiac. But I guess it's a whole different thing. It's got its own name for a disease, Dunning-Bruch disease. And I suppose it's just a function of gluten intolerance, I suppose, yeah, because it's under that umbrella. Hey, yo. So, actually, hold on. DH, for short, dermatitis herpetiformis, is considered to be the celiac disease of the skin. Okay, so that's what they're calling it. For this reason, the new guidelines of the European Society of Day concludes that a proven diagnosis of dermatitis herpetiformis confirms the diagnosis of celiac disease. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So they are technically one and the same. It's just one has a skin manifestation and the other one is just like in your guts. So let's move around to probably what most of y'all that are listening want to know more about, and that would be the non-celiac gluten sensitivity. So you don't have celiac disease, but you're still sensitive to gluten. So this appears to be more common than celiac disease, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, how much lower of a risk can you get than 1%? Am I right? With the prevalence estimated to be 6 to 10 times higher. So we're talking anywhere from 6 to 20% versus the 1 to 2% for celiac. But still, I mean, I don't see a ton of this either. But I feel like I've seen more of this than. And also, it's kind of hard, man. Like, you have someone coming in with suspicion for celiac disease. What's the treatment? Stop eating gluten, right? So it's like, what's the treatment for celiac sensitivity or gluten sensitivity? Stop eating gluten. So it's like, because it's the same treatment, it's almost not as important to diagnose it. At least the gluten sensitivity part, as far as like ruling out celiac, ruling out wheat allergy. It's like, obviously, hopefully, your history taking and physical exam will assist you in kind of nailing it down better. But in general, when the treatment's the same, why even like try to, split hairs here? And a lot of times I'll have a patient that's read ahead of time and they're like, yo, you know what, doc? I haven't even met you yet, but here we are sitting here. Let me tell you, a few weeks back when this started bothering me, I started to do some homework and I realized there may be this thing called gluten sensitivity. So I started taking gluten out of my diet and I feel much better. Hey, what's up? And I'm like, good for you, kid. But usually they're adults. So, I always get lightheaded lately doing these podcasts. What's going on? What is going on here? All right, let's keep moving. So gluten is likely responsible for the appearance of symptoms. Let me give you a...
shit.
Yeah. ATIs, amylase trypsin inhibitors. All right, this is getting a little bit too detailed for me. The main thing is cutting out gluten is the fix for all these issues. And the problem with that, honestly, is like it's hard to avoid gluten. And it may be getting easier because I do see it much more commonly in restaurants and ish, but yeesh. Let's see. So even an ingestion of a small amount of gluten may cause more immediate symptoms in people suffering from gluten sensitivity as compared to those afflicted with celiac disease. Interesting. So actually that's fun to know. So someone could come in with rip-roaring celiac-type symptoms, but that may be more of a clue of gluten sensitivity than anything. So that's kind of cool. That's good to know. So yeah, you got to really read ingredient labels carefully, be aware of any potential cross-contamination. There are certain pills that have gluten in them as just the casing to the medication, the pill, or the capsule or whatever. The capsule around a certain gel-type pill or medication or whatever, sometimes that contains gluten in it. So you got to look into that sometimes. That's another little tricky thing for you. Huh, okay. Furthermore, associated to gluten sensitivity, non-celiac gluten sensitivity people may often present allergies to one or more foods, and is estimated that around 35% of people suffer from food intolerances, mainly lactose intolerance. So I guess they could run together. I mean, it gets all mucky once you start messing with them intestines, you know what I mean? Let's see. Let's briefly discuss wheat allergy under this umbrella of gluten intolerance. People can also experience adverse effects of wheat as a result of wheat allergy. So there are similar symptoms for this as celiac disease and non-celiac gluten sensitivity, but there's a different interval between exposure to wheat and onset of symptoms. Interesting. So wheat allergy has a fast onset, so from minutes to hours. Interesting. So if this is happening to you within minutes, maybe think about getting tested for wheat. Let's see. And could be anaphylaxis. Interesting. That is kind of scary because wheat is delicious and in a lot of ish. The treatment of wheat allergy consists of obviously removing any wheat and other gluten-containing cereals. So nevertheless, some people can tolerate barley, rye, or oats. Interesting. Okay. So I think we covered the main categories, right? Yeah, those are basically the main categories. Let's see if there's anything else. We're going to skip over some of this other stuff. The pathogenesis of NCGS is not yet well understood. Well, yeah. I mean, this is tough, man. And I feel like this is more and more is going to be found out about this, hopefully in the near future. But right now, we're just kind of meh. I don't know. And the genetics they briefly discussed. Let's see. Diagnosis. So diagnosis, I mean, there is... So... I probably should have covered this early on and then got more detailed, but what you going to do? So, yeah, I mean, let's say you're concerned about this, you want to find out more, then what you need to do is, just to dumb it down for just regular talk. I'm not trying to get all fancy with the algorithm of, first test this antibody, then test for this DQ, and then this, and then consider this, and then depending on this, and then this. Nah. Real simple. There is blood tests, what's called serologies, aka antibody tests, and you go to your doctor. Some primary care doctors do order this testing, and others leave it to the GI specialists like myself to order it. Don't matter. It's just a blood test. Put in the order, and you got them. And those blood tests are anti-endomysial antibodies and anti-TTGs, which we talked about earlier, the anti-tissue transglutaminase antibodies. So if you sense if you pick these up on the antibody screen, then you should probably confirm the diagnosis by getting the gold standard of diagnosis for celiac disease, which is a biopsy of your small intestine. So basically, you'd come in for the opposite of a colonoscopy. They'd put you under, you wouldn't feel anything. You don't have to prep with a huge jug of stuff to drink and shit your brains out all night. Luckily, you don't have to do that for this procedure. You just show up with an empty stomach and a driver because of the anesthesia. We put you in, and then we stick that tube, which is about as thick as my finger, down your mouth, and then into your esophagus, then into your stomach, and then right past the stomach where your intestine starts, the small intestine, right where it starts. That's called the duodenum. That's as far as the scope can go. And we just get in there, we take a look at that tissue, what the lining of that duodenum looks like, what that lining of that small intestine looks like, and depending on the look, well, not just the look, you'd get a biopsy. And the look may be a little suspicious to you, but a lot of times I'll get suspicious-looking bowels that kind of make me wonder, but then I do a biopsy and it comes back pristine and totally normal. So it's not, the look test isn't ideal, but it is what it is. Now, with that said, you get a small little bite of it, you take a little bit of tissue, you bite it off, a little biopsy, send it to the lab, and then they'll come back and let you know if there's, evidence of celiac disease. And those are kind of your main two modalities of testing. I did mention that HLA testing as well. That also has a role. But bottom line is don't get bogged down with all that ish. Just know that there is blood testing for it. Endoscopy is the gold standard for diagnosis. The treatment is to remove any and all traces of gluten in your diet, which is tough, but it's doable. And that's how it gets better. So a lot of times, or I should back up a little bit. The interesting thing about this is if you had concerns for celiac disease and then you stopped eating gluten and then you come in and I do the endoscopy, or you come in and I do the blood work, it may not show up. It may be normal, and you may still have celiac disease. But again, is it that big of a deal? Because the treatment is what you already did, which is stop eating gluten. So do I really need to make sure you actually had celiac or not? Not really. Because again, the treatment's the same. So, and here's the best part. Being on a gluten-free diet isn't exactly unhealthy for you. So if anything, for some people's cases, it may be even healthier, less carbs or whatever. So in that regard, it's worth a shot if you want to give it a shot and see how you do without gluten in your diet. See if the bloating, flatulence, diarrhea, whatever other complaints you think are suspicious for celiac disease or just straight up gluten intolerance. Just try the diet, baby. Just try it, baby. But anyway, yeah. So that's pretty much it. Ideally, you want to seek the help of a dietitian to receive support for identifying hidden sources of gluten, and trying to plan out food shopping and all that kind of stuff, because you got to have the knowledge to know what's got gluten and what don't. You know what I mean? So that's kind of something. Let's see. I don't know that we really need to dive into too much more detail with this. I feel like we covered this pretty well. But with that said, hey man, that's all I got for you. A basic rundown on gluten, what to do about it, what can go wrong, how to fix it. Hey yo. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, reach out. But otherwise, you've just tuned into another segment of Medicine Made Easy by Dr. Azizi, and we out. So that was a lovely segment. Thank you, audience. Let's move on to sneaker history, baby. And I probably should have pulled up the article to this before we got started, but let's just fucking go for it, man. So we got right here the Nike Kill Shot 2s, a J. Crew exclusive. Why can only J. Crew sell Nike Kill Shots? That's what I want to know. I feel like I Googled this a while back, but this was years ago. So I do want to revisit this just to see what the heck happened that J. Crew got to, own the shoe basically or own the rights to selling it. Because it's nuts, man. Like this is like the perfect J. Crew type of shoe. Like the J. Crew type of shopper, I can't picture a better sneaker for y'all than this. And I am or was a J. Crew patron at some points or another, so I totally get it. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. These and certain New Balance colorways that they get exclusive rights to they totally knock it out of the park. They really know their audience. It's fucking great. Well, here's some basic facts on it. So the Kill Shot started life in 1979 as a court shoe. So this was used for squash or racquetball or whatever you call it. This was a performance model when it first came out, the Nike Kill Shot. And had a leather body, suede detailing. The suede on here is super dope. I'm a big fan of it. Over the years, the Kill Shot gathered a fan base outside the court. Here we is talking about it. And it was not reissued again until 2009. Interesting. I didn't know that. So that was a decade ago only. So the shoe debuts in 1979, and not for another, 30 years, right? 30 years. Holy shit. So not for another 30 years did the shoe come back. That's crazy. Can you imagine? The Jordan 1 came out in 1985.
On September 15th, Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe, Air Jordans, from Nike.
Right? Yeah, 1985. So what's 30 years after that? That's 2015, right? That makes sense, right? Yeah. So can you imagine back in 2015 seeing a Jordan 1 for the first time again, and that's it? That's wild. That's wild. But let's see. So it wasn't only the sneaker world that went wild. It's the ultimate lifestyle shoe. Yeah. Just gibberish. Rights to the shoe over anybody else, but they just say that they help bump the exclusivity of it by only limiting one purchase per customer. And the most recent iteration. Oh, yeah, speaking of which, so this is, I don't want to call it the OG because I can't say with 100% certainty, but pretty sure that this is the OG colorway, at least with these Kill Shot 2s. And then they did recently come out with a red and a green version, so that's kind of cool. But I definitely prefer these navies, these blues. I think nothing beats them, at least so far. But hey, what you gonna do? So there's not too much else I can really say about the Nike Kill Shot. But let me attempt to. If I just do Nike Kill Shot 2 history, I just want to see if there's anything else that people have written about it. 10 things you didn't know about the Nike Kill Shot. Wah, 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 wah. So they're clean and classic. I didn't know that. Wow. This is just... Wow. I cannot believe that's the number one on this article. That's crazy. They're elusive. Ugh. Oh my God. I'm regretting opening this. So J. Crew is the only retail store that maintains a consistent inventory of the Kill Shot. I thought they're the only ones. So they offer them for $90 a pair with a pre-sale option. And yeah, these things are always sold out, man. And they come back. It feels like just once a year, and it never feels like it's the same time of year every year. I don't know, but it's always like a little buzz in the sneaker community online that I kind of pick up on every now and then, where the Kill Shot returns. It's like, ooh, the Kill Shot is back. Let's see. Versatile footwear. We know this. This is not very... Oh my God, this article is yuck. Oh, here we go. So this may make the entire article worth it. Number 8 right here. Let's see. In case you're wondering why the only official retailer licensed to sell the Kill Shot is J. Crew, that was Nike's decision. Wow. They felt that this ultra special edition was best suited to be presented by a lifestyle retailer that had earned a reputation among its clientele for only offering relevant and in-demand products. Huh. That's actually, you know what? Whoever at Nike made that call, you the shit, bro. You fucking nailed that fucking decision. I can't think of a better marriage of two shoes, but I was wondering why it was just J. Crew. Because if you think about it, Nike could have been like, nah, you know what? It's good for this retail, but also why not Banana Republic? Why not, I'm trying to think another one in that tier of like who kind of shops there. That's the main ones that come to mind is Banana Republic and maybe Eddie Bauer, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Any other suggestions? Can you think of another like kind of similar lifestyle brand similar to J. Crew? I would put them in very similar categories, but hey, what you gonna do? Or maybe that was J. Crew's turn. I don't know. Who cares? But at least now we know a little bit more than we used to, which is Nike's decision was to do that, and they thought it would help sell the shoe better because it can be found where they really want to target that audience. So that's cool. And they probably had some pretty OD market research that went into that. So props to them. Let's see. They create an image for the wearer. Comments from marketing experts who are not trying to sell the shoe have given their honest opinions on the Kill Shot. Those who own a pair remark that they make it look like you really care about your image, whether you do or not. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's a clean fucking sneaker, my guy. Clean fucking sneaker. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I really do get a kick out of these. Get it? I got them in a half size up, and they fit me perfect, and they're just so versatile. Mine are getting a little bit knocked up, but the nice thing about the gum bottom is not only does it set the look off, but it helps the shoe last longer as far as the shelf life because can get it dirtier a little longer. And I do love the old school Nike logo on the back. It's starting to fade a little bit, but that is what it is. So that's your Hypebeast History segment. Thanks for tuning in for that. Let's keep it moving. All right, let's do sneaker releases. I doubt there's anything new from a sneaker release standpoint. And again, I'm probably going to just start dumping this segment. Why don't we just dump this segment, man? Because I'm not going to be talking about sneaker releases every time. Although, why not? Let's just look at GOAT's release calendar. Just to see if there's anything worth talking about. Or just see something that recently dropped that I want to give my opinion on. Oh, the Air Fear of God 1 Amarillos, the yellow joints, the ish he told you not to call the Amarillos, a.k.a. call them the Lakers or call them something else. I forgot what else he called them. But, yeah, man, when the shoe first dropped, that was the one I gravitated to hard. And that's impressive that the resale is already hovering at around 1,000. That's pretty cool. That's a great-looking sneaker, man. It's a great-looking sneaker. But I'm going to skip on it. I'm good with Light Bone and the OG. Nothing else is really catching my eye here as far as these releases go. The Arizona Iced Tea collab or whatever, yeah, that's worth talking about. I don't care. It looks like some cool-ass colorways, but just I don't even drink Arizona Iced Tea. It's a great deal. Every once in a while, I get that craving of like iced tea, and it's perfect size for just fucking 99 cents. It's perfect. But yeah, that rarely happens, and yeah, it's not enough for me to want to buy a shoe. But I could see how like a lot of people who really were into those growing up, like always had a can in their hand. And if they're a sneakerhead, I could totally see them being down for this collaboration because there's some lookers, man. Some of them look really good. Actually, let me pull up some images of this Arizona Iced Tea Adidas collaboration just to pull up some bitches. So I don't like the young one. That's probably my least favorite of the bunch. Next least favorite is what the fuck is this even called? Let's find out. Let's go to this Hypebeast article. Does it say which models? So there's two pairs of Continental 80s and two pairs of young ones. Interesting. Okay, so I didn't even notice that. So they actually caught me. All right. So you got the two Continentals and two young ones. I was talking about in this photo, at least from hypebeast.com, the two in the back. The Continental 80 in the back and the young one in the back. Really don't mess with those color blockings, bro. This just looks straight up neon 90s, like too hard. Just not something I'd wear, man. Like they look like an art piece that you would put next to a can of Arizona as like a display just to be lolsy, but definitely not something I want to be wearing on my feet. I'm sorry. The other two now, the ones with like the floral print all over, these shits a slop. They slop of the bass. These are dope. I didn't even realize that the one on the right was a young one because they did such a great job at this color blocking. This is amazing. So I'm really gravitating towards that, but don't sleep on that Continental 80s, baby. That one looks pretty dope too. I ain't gonna lie to you. It looks really, really cool. So I'm a fan of these. There was something about an NYPD incident. Let's see. We appreciate blah, blah, blah. There was a public safety issue, I guess, because the original because they retailed the sneaker for 99 cents as an ode to the Arizona 99 cents, but that resulted in a brawl. What else is new with New York City resellers? Because they go for 200 on the resale market. So, hey, a 200% profit for a fucking sneaker. Now, that's a come up. Let's be honest. I'm not even shocked at this brawl. That's just it makes perfect sense. And, of course, NYPD got involved. And maybe that was part of the plan all the time to get Adidas back in the, sneaker talk conversation. But I don't think it's going to be enough, man. I don't think these are going to slap hard enough for people to actually rock. And they're just so niche that you just won't be seeing people rocking these, let alone rocking them often. It's just not one of them things, you know what I mean? I'm actually cycling through these photos on hypebeast.com. The article they wrote about it, you can actually cycle through the photos, and they pull up all the, oh, my God, closer images of the young one are just beautiful. The stitching on this is insane, dude. The stitching on this young one is absolutely bananas. Wow. I'm blown away, man. I haven't seen a shoe this beautifully executed in a long time. And the floral colorways, they have it here right next to that iced tea can, and it's green tea with ginseng and honey with the cherry blossoms or whatever they're called. And then oh shit, and then they have the 3 stripes on the can, so they must have done like a dual collaboration. That's pretty OD. I love that. That's great. That's sad. That's nice. Giannis Papastrukard. Okay, so I think that'll do it for sneaker releases. Why not? Trying to keep it relevant. Let me know if you have other suggestions for this segment or other shoes you specifically want me to talk about. Although I tend to get a heavy dose of that with the Q&As anyway, so I think we'll just leave it for that. With that said, see you on the next segment. All right, so now where are we? Lakers topic. So there's really only one little Laker minutia I want to discuss with y'all, and that's these rumors going around that Andre Iguodala is going to be potentially joining the Lakers, or at least that the Lakers are holding a space for him, a roster spot for him, if he decides to get bought out by the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I could see it happening. Now, granted, Memphis is in the West as well with the Lakers, so typically you try to find common wisdom. Conventional wisdom is that you try not to deal a player within the same conference. That's kind of the idea. But I don't know that the Grizzlies are anywhere close to competing, let alone with the Lakers. So why not? Especially if, although it's not even a trade, it's just like a buyout thing. So it may just be a whole totally independent thing. Listen, but let's just cut this shit. Let's cut this shit here. Why do we gotta? This shit bothers me so much, man. And maybe it's just a function of us living in a growing society, capitalistic society. If you're not growing, you're dying. So as these news networks, and more specifically these sports news networks, become more and more not prominent, but they need to be fed more or feed more, whichever way you're looking at it, because they get bigger and bigger. They bring on more and more employees, more and more writers, more and more reporters, more and more coverage, more and more coverage. You got to cover something. So when the day is slow, they don't give you the day off. You got to come up with something, buddy. So now it's like, oh, so-and-so maybe go to this team. So-and-so said this. So-and-so said that. It's just like this OD annoying rumor mill. It's fucking annoying. Announce when the motherfucker gets signed, or announce when some hard shit happens, like he actually got bought out. You can report on that. Maybe throw in a couple like, hey, this actual piece of news happened. And here's some suggestions of maybe some things that are going to happen as a result. Ooh, and then leave it at that. That's it. As like a footnote to your article, putting out some hard, actual breaking news, just to kind of like pepper in a little bit of seasoning. You know what I mean? Emerald Lagasse triggered. Bam! So that's my thought on it. I just tuned out the minute I even read the headline. I was like, I am not entertaining this at all. Because I'm just like, dude, there's enough for me to like consume and be stimulated by in this social media internet age. So I'm not going to add to it by like adding on a bunch of like he said, she said, maybe they will, maybe they won't type of ish. You know what I mean? So that's my Lakers segment, baby. Thanks for tuning in for that. And then let's just roll that right into a general sports topic. See you around. Word. So that was the sports segment. And, that was the Lakers segment, but let's broaden this to sports real quick. Let's broaden this to sport. I almost typed in sports.com. Hi, Lakers. So let's just see. Let's see. Steve Ballmer is really fired up about Kawhi PG. You think? I mean, come on, bro. This is a no-brainer. Your team went from irrelevant to literally like the talk of the NBA in the biggest city with with your rivals, in city rivals, in building rivals, are probably the second favorite, if not also the favorite. So that's going to be fun basketball to watch, man. Plus throw in LeBron's Hollywood persona. What I mean more specifically by that, his bigger-than-life entertainment quality to him. He's just an entertaining motherfucker. Meanwhile, you got Kawhi, not as entertaining, although lately has been. He's been playing his role, if you will. Like, you know how like you can be an awkward comedian and still be funny? Not everyone has to be just like a Dane Cook over-the-top loudmouth, right? You can still be funny as long as you're being true to yourself. So him being true to himself and kind of like living within that realm has really, I think, worked well for him. You know, especially with the New Balance signing. That was just a match made in heaven, in my opinion. Just his style of play, and then like the little troll moves that he'll pull out every now and then. It's fun to see. So he's playing his role, and he's from LA, so it's fun to have him back in his hometown. That's going to absolutely drive some stuff, and then the camps he's going to be doing for the kids and his local community. That's going to be fun. He'll be recruiting his other players to be doing it with him, along with hopefully LeBron, and like a crosstown rivalry turned, friends, foes turned friend type situation, just for like the off seasons or time off in between games or whatever, because they're in the same city. So like if they're both playing, let's say on a Monday night, because let's say they both played each other on a Monday, so they're both in town, and then their next games aren't for another day or two after, and also home games between the two of them, then LeBron and Kawhi and company all have time to like fucking do some coordinate shit together. But I mean, with practice and everything else, they probably don't have time. But why are we talking about this? I don't think this is that interesting. You know what is a little bit more interesting? Zion Williamson has signed with Jordan Brand. So that's cool. Maybe that should be the title of this segment. The Zion Williamson signing with Jordan Brand and what it means. I wish I was privy to the kinds of conversations that go on behind the scenes when these deals are being made, because I want to know, like, what is it about Jordan Brand that makes you go, you know what, yeah, I'm going to do this? Unless it's something specific to the upbringing period through AAU and schools and sponsorships and in college, where you get a Jordan athlete, you get Adidas camp people only, you get, Nike only. Like, I wonder if it's just that at its base core level and that's it, or is there more to this? Is there something that Zion heard from the pitch from Jordan Brand that made him say, this is something revolutionary. They have big plans for me that they haven't had for any previous athlete. Because think about this. What's the last Jordan athlete that was this hyped entering in as a rookie. I don't even know any rookie Jordan athletes. And not even because I don't think there were any. I just think they were that insignificant, relatively speaking. No disrespect. I know you're better than me at basketball, whoever you is. But I'm just giving some thoughts. Anyway, for this much hype and for Jordan Brand to jump on that, and maybe this was even Nike's decision to be like, yo, Zion, yeah, I know you want to come over here and maybe have your own shoe someday or something like that, but I think Jordan Brand may be a better move because Nike is Jordan Brand is a subsidiary of Nike. So it could be a coordinated effort, although I don't know how much these guys work together / independently as far as the two brands go, but I don't know. See, I wish I had more insight and more like access to the sneaker world because I feel like I would know some key players that could help me better understand the business, better understand the inner workings, how certain shoe designs happen, how certain athletes are worked with specifically. I'd love to dive deeper into the stuff, visit campuses, and do all that kind of ish. I'm just not there, man. I don't have that sneaker clout authority as some others do. So it is what it is. But let's see. What else was I going to tell you? So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. The other factor to kind of counter everything I just said is maybe Jordan Brand just doesn't think they'll be able to sell a shoe. Or Nike doesn't think they'll be able to sell a signature model for Zion. So they're just going to put him into Jordan Brand and maybe work something else out. I don't know. Or at least try to get some hype on some upcoming Jordan models because they feel like they need some more push there. Because Russell Westbrook's a phenomenal athlete. But when he joined Jordan Brand, I don't know. I don't know that the impact was enough for it to carry to other colorways of, say, Jordan Retros or new Jordan signature models. So like, the 32, the 31, where he had the player PEs and he was doing incredible feats with the freaking triple-double records and, averaging, oh, God. It was fun to watch, and that's why I bought the shoes, and I'm a huge Russell Westbrook fan, right? But Russell, I mean, it's not like with the Jordan 33, was it? 33 that came out, or was it the 30? Yeah, 33. It didn't really have too much hype on it. And not that I need the hype, but I feel like maybe they were relying on Russ a little bit to kind of carry that, and it just didn't work out. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But my thoughts would be that I don't think the voice of Jordan Brand flows into Russell off the court, if you follow my drift. What I mean is, so as a player and his style of play and that nastiness that Russell plays with, that shit is well suited for Jordan Brand on the court. Okay, but when we're talking off the court, Jordan Brand and Russell Westbrook could be no more different. Like Russell's out there in like Chappelle Prince type blouses and shit, wild ass colors, super fitted, modern day, postmodern, blah blah blah, day fashion. Meanwhile, Jordan off the court, we're talking size 44 waist jeans that flop to his ankles. We're talking oversized suits with freaking 80 buttons on them. And listen, man, I'm not even knocking that kind of style because I think that's Jordan's style. He has owned that, and he has owned that consistently for decades, bro. So that is commitment, and he's the GOAT, which means he can do whatever the fuck he wants, and he's shown you he can do what the fuck he wants. And it's just a lesson for everybody else. Like, just have your own ish, dude. Just wear something, even if it's goofy, just because you like it. You know what I mean? That's kind of what this all boils down to. But what that also relates to is this whole Russell Jordan dichotomy. Because, like, off the court, I don't know that Russ can push anything for Jordan Brand specifically outside of his own signature stuff. And even then, I mean, it's sometimes so wild fashion-wise that sometimes it just won't connect with the fans. At least that's what I've noticed. I hear about a lot more kids buying Curry shoes than Russell shoes, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased, but I don't know the numbers, and I don't know anyone at Under Armour either. But anyway, so that's all I wanted to say. Best of luck to Zion. Hopefully he does some cool stuff in the league. That'll be fun to watch. Blake Griffin type-ish is what I'm expecting. Hopefully he doesn't get injured, and we'll see. Summer League was impressive. We'll see what happens. So that's been sports. Thanks for tuning in, and let's keep it moving, baby. Bye. All right, so that was our second to last segment. Now let's roll that into the live Q&A and close this out. Nah, man, so let me just go grab my phone real quick. Just give me 1 minute. Not even. Just give me a few seconds. And I'm back. Okay. So, I mean, I almost feel like I could cut part of this out for the actual audio episode, let alone the video, but whatever. So let's get the live set up. And I'll set this up too. Why is it doing this? Oh, God, that's so annoying. What was the password? Boom. I got to log in on my other phone because the other phone be recording and shit. You know. Oh, come on, bro. Is there anything more annoying? All right, so I guess no Instagram on that one. Let me just grab the other phone, I guess. Actually, the nice thing with this other phone is the battery's almost dead, which means it'll force me to not be on the live for too long because I do want to wrap this up. We're already at 47 minutes here, so with that said, it will be a nice little neat bow to just do a quick 15 minutes. So let me just load up the live for the settings. And we'll call it Q and A for the podcast. We'll call this 720. What day is it? 724. Holy shit. 724, 2019. And we'll make this a public live, and we will make the microphone be the roadcaster, obviously, and the FaceTime camera. Cool. So, let me take a thumbnail for the kill shots. All right, so we are going live. Let's get this set up to go live as well on Instagram. So we'll do a little dual shit. And we're off. So we are live. Hey, yo, live, Instagram and YouTube. What it do? Just wrapped up another episode of the podcast, at least in its current, quote, live form, but wasn't able to, or I'm sorry, this is just the Q&A component that I'm doing, so feel free to ask any questions. I know it's the middle of the day on a weekday. Usually I do this on the weekends, but, what you going to do? And I'll tell all the Instagram folks, if you do have the YouTube app, probably you're better off watching this on your phone on the computer or on the YouTube app because the audio is way crispier because it's going through this microphone. But what you going to do? What up, folks? Cayman, Chapman, and Anichov. What it do? Yo, what's going on, son? Oh, appreciate that, Tim Miller. Appreciate you fucking with my Reddit. I fucks with it, too. I appreciate it. I haven't posted in a while. That's my bad. I've just been in a rut. DJ Goblin, hey, yo, what it do? Yo, what's up? Big fan. Thanks, Jack. We Gucci. Is IG audio good? All right. That's on you guys. I hear the fan coming through my speakers here, but that's on you guys. So it's big brain time. So what I want to discuss, nothing really. This is Q&A. This is where do I work? I work in Iowa. Find out more on my YouTube channel if you search the Q&A playlist, or just search on YouTube for Dr. Souls. Where do I work? Iowa or New York? Although technically I work here too, just doing non-hospital-ish. My first, are you going to sneaker games? I don't even know what that is. Can I hear your doctor voice like the professional you're talking to a Karen voice? I don't get it. But this is, I mean, I don't really like notice my voice change. I pretty much talk just like this, just without any goofiness and randomness that you guys usually see me talk about. Thoughts on the new Paras? Looking forward to those. We talked about that on a previous episode of the podcast, although I don't think it's published yet. It's coming out. We're working on the editing. And the thing is, I love them. I love the Dunk Lows. I love the Blazer Lows. And I love the Friends and Family, unfortunately, the green joints. So definitely going to be looking for those. When is that? Saturday, I think they'll come out. So The 27th. I don't know. A Karen is an average douchebag in a service industry. What is that, like the equivalent of a Chad? It's funny. I've never heard that. Shoe of the year so far for me? Oof, that's tough. That's tough. Fuck, man. I always lose track of what's come out this year. So you guys should give me some suggestions of what you think. Oh, the Sakai. I think the Sakai is the one that stands out right now. But what are you going to do? Can I take you to my place? No. Prescribe him a Jordan for fall. Prescribe you a Jordan for fall. Let's see what the Jordan 34 look like. That could be good. Say something in Spanish. Hola, mi gente. I like it. I like it like that. Do, 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 do. But I like it like that. Let's see. Did I cop the yellow fog ones? We just talked about this, actually. I did not, although that was the first image I ever saw of it. I thought these was dope. But yeah, I'm just skipping. I've got enough of them. And thoughts on the Travis Lowe's? Not a huge fan, man. The highs are way better, in my opinion. But if you like them, you like them. I'm just going to skip them like I did every other Travis Scott, as we've talked about on length in this channel. You specialize in stomach stuff, right? Yep. Let's see. Do you think Nike ruined the Air Force One SFS with how colorways they released? Oh, you're talking about the special field Air Force Ones, the high tops? I don't think they killed them. I just think, they're so comfortable, but they're a bitch to get on. They weren't exactly super cheap, and they're more of a winter shoe than a summer shoe, so it's not really like a year-round type of shoe. You know what I mean? So I think that's really what killed it, not the bunch of colorways, but there were some crazy-looking colorways for sure. Sneaker convention. Oh, so like SneakerCon? I thought that's in winter in New York. Maybe I'll think about doing it this coming year. I don't know. You guys can let me know if you really want me to go. I was hoping for you. Thoughts on the Travis Lowe's? We talked about that. Teach us how to write. I don't write. What are you talking about? First car. Oh, you mean like my captions and shit? Dude, you got to have a brain that works that way, So just me, I guess. Oh, Eugene Levy. I remind you of the dad on American Pie. He's hilarious. Jim's dad. I love that movie. So as a stomach specialist, what's going on with Playboy Cardi? His tummy hurts. I did not know that. Get me some more information on that. Slide into my Instagram DMs, and maybe if it's juicy, tantalating enough information, I'll do a little quick vid on it. Now, I mean, my first car was a Toyota Camry in 1989, red Toyota Camry. Stick shift, manual, shit was OD. Loved that car. That was dope. What you think of the MCA Air Forces? Worth it to you? Absolutely. I don't know why I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I've just been lazy AF, but that's just me. Let's see, Air Max 90 or 97? Definitely 90. Not a huge 97 fan. When did you decide to reveal your real name? Basically at 22K. It was just like, what? I got to start using my real name, bro. Like the shit's getting a little played out to just like be a nobody, Plus, I don't want to like let the branding go too long on the Dr. Souls thing where no one really even knows my real name, because I think my real name is dope. Nah, me? Would you rather do a rectal without gloves or not wear sneakers for 1 month? I'll take no sneakers for a month, thank you. Jesus Christ, guys. What the fuck? Oh, my God. That might be a good stand-up joke. I might try that tonight, bro. That's hilarious. Do you think you have a healthy bowel system, seeing you're a doctor for that kind of stuff? Probably not. I eat like shit. Let's see. What's your next big cop? Those MCA Air Force Ones. I got to get on that, man. AirTech challenges. Yeah, I did do a Hypebeast history video on the AirTech challenges. It should be coming out hopefully soon. Just working on the editing. Favorite shoe of all time? Red Octobers, baby. Yeah. So, that's it. Where you from? I'm from upstate New York, bruh. But I was born in Iran, in Tehran, the capital. Ugh, I'm getting loopy. We got to wrap this up soon. But, yeah, maybe that's the nice thing about having this done in the daytime is, everyone else is kind of busy. Best Jordan 1, it's got to be the Breads, baby. It's got to be the Breads. Tell me the exact date of your birthday so I can get you a gift. It's a little suspicious. You're going to get the Chicago Fear of Gods? Nope. I didn't even know there was a Chicago Fear of God. But yeah, I'm pretty set on the Fear of Gods for now. Watching from Manila, Philippines at 4:30 in the morning. That's crazy, man. Holy shiznizzle. Or lady, I'm not sure. I love the Para SB dunk lows. Anything Para does, I'm a fan of, especially with Nike. But yeah, that's awesome that you're watching me from the Philippines at fucking 4:30 in the morning. That's wild. I couldn't listen to me at 4:30 in the morning. That's crazy. How do you justify spending so much money on material things? That's a very good question. It's it makes me feel stupid sometimes. I feel dumb, but then also it's a conduit for me to connect with you guys and be more comfortable with who I am as a person and kind of bring that into the world and meet more people and make better connections with human beings and grow this platform and learn myself better a little bit and all that's great. Favorite Easy 700, by far the Wave Runner. Would you rather have C. diff or have all your entire shoe collection disappear? I'll take the C. diff. I'll take the C. diff because I could treat that shit, hopefully. How often do you go to the gym? I try to go 3 days a week, but I've been slacking this week, so that sucks. Let's see. Most expensive sneaker in my collection. I have to do a reveal. I haven't done it yet because I'm an idiot, but I will do it. Is that hair real? Yep. Let's see. What is your favorite stand-up comedian? Patrice O'Neal. You should come over to Europe. Show you the Air Max hype. Yeah, man. I that's the other nice thing about this platform thing is like I want to be able to connect with enough people for me to be able to travel the world and meet other people that are like me or like of me when I travel the world. That'd be dope. Favorite off-white blazer? The All Hallows Eve, baby. Travis Scott, the fire right now, the heat right now. Yeah, he's blowing up. Does your shoe powers come from your hair? Nah, come on. I like the Serena blazer and OG blazer the best, but I have the All Hallows. Yeah, dude, the Serenas were nice too, but I preferred the 97 version of them. And then I don't think it overtook the All Hallows Eve or even the Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper, definitely my second favorite. Third favorite, the OG. Last shoe you copped, the Nike Terra Kiger 5s, the off-white greens. That's what I got. Ketchup or mustard? Definitely ketchup. I only recently started being okay with like putting mustard on hot dogs and burgers and shit. What do I think of universal health care? I don't think much about it, so I don't really have too much of an opinion on it. I know there's pros and cons, but it is what it is. How you liking the Terra Kigers? I've worn mine for 3 days and the spike's coming off. Yeah, I figured they would come off quick, especially with concrete and in New York City. So I'm just going to leave them on ice for a little bit. What do I think of the Jordan 1 Travis Scott? I've talked about this at length, man. It's just not for me. I love the shoe. It looks dope. All the versions he's released are cool. Great stories to them and stuff too. But I just can't get on board, man. It's just not my thing. You got to draw a line somewhere. How do you explain sneaker culture to your non-sneakerhead friends, family? I don't, because they don't give a fuck. Let's see. Have you ever had to follow a big name? Whoops, hold on. Have you ever had to follow a big name comedian who is testing out new material? If not, have you ever just been at a comedy club when that happened? Oh, yeah, all the time. But I'm not good enough to be able to do shows that like well-known comedians are also doing. I'm not there yet. So I haven't had that quote problem, but yeah, I see them practice new ish all the time. Yeah, you caught me. I just realized the minute I saw your name that I haven't responded to your email yet. I'm sorry, man. I've been slacking this week. I've been low key depressed. I want to say. I think the word depression. I have to look up the clinical symptom criteria, but yeah, I just felt depressed. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't feel like doing anything. I was just like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I doing comedy? I'm not funny. Why am I doing YouTube? It's like, is this all a waste? Like, what am I doing with my life? I was going through all that shit essentially this whole week. So I've been slacking on a ton of emails. There's so many little tasks here and there, like little emails or little errands I've just been putting off all week just because I'm a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So trying to get out of that. But yeah, I will definitely respond to your email. Probably by tomorrow, hopefully. How about that? What's your opinion on the Adidas 4D tag? Worth the price or a ripoff? I can't really say, man. Luckily, I'm in a position where the price doesn't bother me too much. And but the thing is, I got the 4D simply for the technology and the historical aspect of it, the first ever model that came out. But outside that, yeah, I have zero interest in buying any more 4D. It's just whatever. It's nothing crazy for me. But it looks cool, and it's got a cool story behind it, but it is what it is. Trying to cut back on my cops. Only pair I've gotten recently are the Travis Scott Jordan 1s and All-Star Jordan 1s. Hey, man, that's fine. Some days I regret not having like a tight 6 rotation, just like that's it, you know. Are churches your only dress shoes of choice? You need to get some Gucci horse bits. I do have Gucci horse bits. I have to show off my fucking dress shoe collection, man. That's where my collecting of sneakers really started, to be honest with you, back in like 2013 era. But we'll get into it. Why have you been depressed? No pressure on the email. No, I know there's no pressure. I'll definitely get back to you. I'm just not in the mood to do anything. Talk to people, leave the pent, all that kind of stuff. IBS, send them to GI. Huh? Shout out to the IBS gang. Hey. Are you going to continue comedy? I think you're very entertaining, if that is at all helpful. I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate that you guys fucks with me. That's the main reason, if any, that I'm able to continue this. I've been enjoying your comedy, man. Hope you stick with it for as long as you can. I really appreciate that. It's always comforting to hear that kind of stuff from you guys. You guys definitely contribute to helping me kind of keep this going. What's with the slowdown on the worst top 6 segment? Yeah, it's only a slowdown because just a lack of guests. I haven't had any guests here. I had a slew of podcast guests I wanted to get in here, and I just didn't because I just wasn't feeling it this week. So whatever. But maybe next time I'm back in New York, I'll kind of ramp that back up. Plus, I'm like so behind in other episodes and videos. So, yeah, Rensselaer t-shirt. That's where I went to school, baby. I think it's cool for self-confidence to get into stand-up comedy. Great way to get over insecurities and introvertedness. To some extent. Do you worry about diversity in your collection, like having too many of the brand or silhouette? Yeah, that's why I try to keep it varied, as many different kinds of colorways, and trying to limit it to just one silhouette instead of, because I've mentioned it before, if you see me owning multiple colorways of one silhouette of shoe, that means I really fuck with that shoe, you know? So anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up, guys. That's been 15 minutes worth of live. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm getting tired again. I'm going to try and ramp up some energy to hit an open mic tonight, maybe 2. And we'll see you guys around. Bye. And that's the live. And let's end this stream. Bye. Okay, so that was the live Q&A segment. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, whether you're watching it live or after the fact on podcast app where we're at. Please leave a comment, a review, and please leave 5 stars. It helps the thing grow so more people can see it, so I reach more people, so I can keep growing, so I could keep doing this, so I could, do the thing, you know what I mean? But with that said, yeah, that was fun. It's been another episode of The Podcast with your host, Dr. Azizi, a.k.a. Dr. Bojangles, a.k.a. Goblin Orpheus Gunisi, the third MD. We'll be seeing you around. Bye.